It is my honor to welcome and interview Professor Malini, Head of Department, Jubilee, Sri Saram College of Engineering, Bangalore. Welcome to College Dunia, Madam.
Thank
Being
you.
a faculty of Jubilee Department, what are your roles and responsibilities towards the students?
First of all, being the faculty and then heading the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, my roles and responsibilities are right from the beginning to the end. That is to say that as a faculty, we have to mold the students, we have to make them to understand what the subject is, and not only limiting to the subject, it is the learning that happens between a faculty and a student. As the head of the department, my roles and responsibilities are to make sure that the faculty and that the students are always on the learning curve and that they would be progressing further with a rapid speed. This is my roles and responsibilities.
Great, ma'am. So, how do you tend to establish healthy relationship with the students and fellow faculty?
Fellow faculties, it is the establishment of the healthy relationship through the communication. First thing is that I believe maintaining the transparency in the department and being communicative to all the faculties avoids all kind of communication gaps, and a better learning and the understanding would happen. And because of this, there will not be any kind of communication issues, which would not rake up in the understanding of both the students as well as the other responsibilities that we held in the department. Between the students and then the faculty, it is again the communication that matters a lot. And being the communicative, not only as a subject faculty, but we also maintain the healthy relationship with the parents as well as the students by communicating them with everything, right from the academics to the non-academic activities, what they do. And participating in the progress of every student is what we exactly follow. That's why there is absolutely no communication gap between the students and the faculty and me. So all in all, we maintain a very healthy relationship as an extended family, and everybody participates in the growth of the student. This is how we mold the student as part of the family and one of the member of the family.
So great. So how do you try to bring in practical approach towards subjects and make it industry oriented?
Subjects are not only to be taught, subjects are to be learned, because we believe that application is engineering. So being in the electrical and electronic engineering, we always give emphasis on the practical learning of the subjects. That means to say that we will not only limit them to the theoretical knowledge of any kind of theory, or we will make them to understand that how the theory has been implemented in the practical applications. We conduct the idea processing lab, and in the idea processing lab, we do the reverse engineering. We will not limit them to only the service sector. We will make them employable in the manufacturing sector also by understanding the theory behind a working application. It may be a motor or it may be an AI controlled voice recognition system, but we make them to understand that what exactly is the theory behind building of that particular module, and then we will make them to understand how the theory is applicable to that particular module while building the projects. So projects are the heart, and through the projects we make the reverse engineering to understand the theory behind that project.
What are the best practices offered by the department to the students which help them gain necessary skills?
One is the building of the practical approach. That means to say that we make the student to build a project right from the first year. Right from the mini projects to the major projects, what they do is not only going along with the curriculum, but also it is focused on the ideas. Ideas may be Jugado ideas, or it may be the ideas that could be implemented as a cost-effective solution to any existing problem. So during the pandemic time, our students have worked out on several modules and several solutions they gave. Touchless, points to the water taps, touchless points to the many kind of, COVID patients where the isolation wards are held, and many kind of solutions like the sanitizer, and then the production of the machines, and all these kind of solutions would come from the small ideas. So the ideas will not be validated as a small or big. but ideas will be built as a practical approach towards the existing problem, as well as the innovative solution through hackathons, through other contests that the student would be participating nationally or international at the international level. So all in all, we make the student with the participative approach, which will definitely bring in the solutions and which will make it as a best practice. We will not only limit them to only to the projects, but we will also make them to write and participate in the e-contents also. So this content writing will also make them to be very communicative, both in the, and it will improve them their oral skills, written skills, and all in all, it is going to help them to improve in the communicative skills. They will write the articles, they will blog, and they will have their own YouTube channels. All these are going to help them to connect to the external world, both in the digital content age as well as in their own development as a person.
So how do you strategize the curriculum and how often it gets updated to make it benefiting for the students?
Strategy is to keep them updated on the curriculums. Curriculum is set by the university, but the university has a practice to conduct the meeting before starting any kind of new scheme. So there, all the participants, all the eminent leaders from the industry, that is from the academia as well as the industry, will participate to know that where exactly the gap lies. So while addressing this gap itself, we will come to understand that where exactly the theoretical content has to be built. That will become the major portion of the studies for the students, so that it will make them industry ready, and they will also get exposed to the latest trends, the technologies, and also they will understand that where exactly the next step ahead, where they have to practice in the domain, and as well as they will understand all the technologies, and they will be able to move in the direction whichever is going to be the interesting one for them. So that's where we are going to address the gap in the industry academia, and with the participation in the innovative projects and with the participation in the industry academic relationships, the faculties also develop their strategy into the research projects. So by keeping the research as well as the curriculum in place, we can definitely make sure that our students are learning the latest technologies, whichever is industry ready, as well as the entrepreneurship oriented one. So because we all know that the corporates also look for the entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs can be developed with the help of this curriculum as well as the out of the box thinking. So we motivate them to have the out of box thinking, and we connect them to the curriculum. So by updating regularly, and we will not limit them to only to the curriculum. We will make them to go through the international certifications also apart from the curriculum, so that they will understand the latest trends in the technology that is coming up and what the industry is demanding, and ahead of their graduation, what could be their future in the 10 years of industry. So this is how we promote both entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship qualities, and also the curriculum based research projects. So thereby we address the gaps.
So what are your views upon the placements and higher education about the students from your department, or how does your department prepare students for higher education?
Normally in the second year, while when they first of all, I would like to tell you one very interesting fact is that when they enter into the department, we will try to collect their idea about the higher education. Would they like to stop at the stage of graduation, or would they be looking for the placement and then the post graduation, or would they directly want to go ahead with the post graduation? Three things we will try to counsel them and then find out that where their interest lies. Some of the students will have the research mindset where they would like to continue into their post graduation, and some of them would like to go with the become the technocrats by doing MBA. So like this, we will tell them the opportunities which lies in India as well as abroad, and we will make them ready in the third year. We will make them to attempt to the competitive exams like GATE, and like they will also try to take the GRE, TOEFL. They will also try to take the GMAT and the CAT, and also the other competitive exams like the PGCET. And and we will tell them that what exactly is the prospectus of GATE or IELTS or GRE, TOEFL if they want to do MS outside. So there are students who would who would directly go from final year to the post graduation, and we will make them to go for the post graduation by training them on the competitive exams. We will give them the previous year, like the modules and then the question papers and then the answers, and then we will try to make them to attempt in the third year itself. So with the first trial, they will come to know that where are their strengths and what are the subjects they have to study, and then they will be able to prepare themselves very well in the final year, and they will attempt to it. We have got several students who have qualified in the GATE and who would be attempting to get into IITs and IIScs with a good score and the percentile. And there are many students who have gone abroad to complete their MS and MBA as well. So this is how we train them in the higher education. With the help of the higher education cell that the institute has, every student in the third year will be given an opportunity to attempt to the post-graduation.
So how do you help your students to cope up with the competition being so high in the outside world?
Okay, so India has shifted from manufacturing sector to service sector. So with this, the opportunities, like opened up in the service sector to a larger extent. But at the same time, manufacturing divisions in the electrical and electronic engineering also saw a revolutionary change. Many of the fresher jobs have become automated one. So we emphasized on the certificate courses on the automation also. So what we do normally is that we will make the student to understand that there are various opportunities in the electrical and electronics engineering. Beauty of the electrical and electronics engineering is that they can get into manufacturing sector, they can get into service sector where the software is the predominant one now, they can get onto the hardware sector, and there is a lot of demand for the electrical and electronics engineering in the energy market. The whole of India is seeing the revolutionary change in the EV market as well. So EV market is focusing on the electrical and electronics engineers because they can understand the automotive electronics very well. They can have the battery management system in place, and they will study the subject called power electronics, which is the heart of EV technology. So the electric vehicle sector, which we have seen that Tesla is entering the market, and many of the sectors of automotive sectors like TVS, Ashok Leyland, right from the truck to the bike, the EV is coming up in a big way. So for this, for the connect cars concept also, right from the artificial intelligence to the automation, we are training the students so that they get connected to the computer science engineering as well as to the electronic side, and we will train them on the languages and the professional side and the skill set side. We will train them on the battery management side. And so with this, they can get on to any of the latest technologies where the energy market looks for the solar energy and the wind energy professionals, where we are giving them the certification courses as well. We connect them to MNRE, which is the ministry which is giving the certification for the solar ambassador programs, and we will give them the opportunity to become the consultants in the field also. So with this, they can go to energy market, they can get onto the software side, and they can get onto the hardware side as well. Our placement division will give the opportunity, equal opportunity as any other engineer, maybe an ECE engineer or a computer science engineer. The equal opportunity in the service sector, that is on the software industry, will be given to the electrical and electronics engineers also. So the students who are interested on the software side, they will take up the placement test, and then we will make every student to participate in the skill track test. We will make them to go with the group discussion. We will make them to go with all kinds of preparation that is required for the student to get onto the corporate, to go with the best placement from the college, from when they go out of the campus. So with this, every student, I am very happy to say that every student from the EEE will go with minimum of 1 or 2 offer letter. We are very happy to say that we are maintaining 100% placement from the electrical and electronics engineering students.
Great to know, ma'am. So do you have any extracurricular activity program to enhance the skills of the students or expose them to the real world challenges?
Yes, we do have. And in this extracurricular activities, I would like to mention 2 important clubs which will take them to, which will connect them to the other activities, which will help them to develop the leadership skills as well. One is the Nature and Wildlife Club, and the other one is the Energy Efficiency Club, which the students have enrolled. Other than this, our students are also given open challenge to enter into any other kind of competitions that are held, and it is not only limited to any kind of sports or extracurricular activities like competitions. It is like students who are interested in the music and the dance and any kind of theater acts, they will participate in the various VTU activities. They participate in the intercollegiate championship. All these like championship will not only limited to the sports or the culturals. They will also go for the project exhibitions. They will also get on to the other kind of student ambassador programs from the campus. So we include this nature and wildlife club activities also, wherein they can bring in the technology to safeguard the nature. Like every year we observe the Sparrow Day, we observe the like the technology interventions in saving the earth, and also we will make the students to get on to the sanitation, women hygiene programs. All these things like will bring them innovative mind to develop the technology towards betterment of the society, and also this kind of extracurricular activities will make them to focus on to their skill set improvement as well. So they will participate in all kinds of activities, not only limiting to projects or the technology.
So, Madam, what are the challenges you faced or facing to uplift the quality of education of your department?
Okay. This is a very interesting question that I find from you, ma'am. Actually, the challenges are that, as I already mentioned, that the India shifted from manufacturing sector to service sector. So everybody thought that even now everybody thinks that only the computer science students would be able to get the best pay package. It is not so. There are like without the electricity, without the energy, nothing can survive. We all know about it. So in the energy market, there is a huge opportunity. There are niche sectors like entertainment. There are niche sectors like audio and visual engineering, which are all connected to electrical and electronics engineering. Wherever the entertainment goes, they cannot do anything without the audio and visual effects. So you all know that the entertainment industry is like it has grabbed the majority of 134% of the growth in the last GDP. And also healthcare sector is another boom which we have seen. In the healthcare sector, there are lots of opportunities for the medical devices, medical electronics, where the electrical and electronic students are the major in demand. So these are the sectors where students can be employed, but all in all, everybody feels that only few engineering branches would only get the good placement. It is not so. There is the challenge where we need to make them to understand that it is not only the service sector where they can see. There are other sectors in the utilities, in the entertainment, in the project management areas, in the MEP. These are the various challenges, and government holds a lot of promise for the electrical and electronic engineering students, where the student would be getting the best government jobs in the energy sectors. So this is where the challenge lies for us. Like every time we need to make them to understand that they need not have to select, or they need not have to focus only on the service sector or on the software engineering. There are other branches which holds the same kind of promise. For example, I can tell you the illumination engineering. Many of the people doesn't know that there is a design engineering which is looking for the EEE students, where the illumination engineering plays a major role in designing anything for that matter. Architecture goes hand in hand with the illumination engineering. So there are many sectors like this which the student would not be exposed to. So there is our challenge to make them to understand where all they can find the new applications and new campus recruitments. And also there are big companies like Schneider Electric and then the ABB. All these are looking for the students who are having the combined mindset of selecting themselves onto the AI platform, as well as with the good sound knowledge of basic electrical and electronics engineering to manufacture the different relays, different safety equipments, all this. So there is a challenge to make them to understand that it is not only the service sector, which is also the other sectors which are looking for AAA engineers.
So when you came to Sri Saram College of Engineering, what was your vision and how are you trying to achieve this?
I came to Sairam College of Engineering 10 years before, roughly close to 10 years. It is my ninth year completion, which is running now. I came with the vision of doing the innovative ideas and then developing the research projects. With this idea, we have established innovation, and I got the opportunity to become the IETC coordinator, which is Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center coordinator, and then we got the funds from the Department of Science and Technology to develop the IETC center in our college. So, with the vision of developing the innovative projects through our students, I entered into Sri Sairam College of Engineering, where we became successful, and then we have been continuing it through IIC, where innovation ambassador programs are running, and we are making the students to continue with the ideathons, and then we are developing them to provide the out-of-box thinking solutions to the society and to the through their technology interventions. So I came to engineering college from the industry background, and I was working for a couple of corporates before I came here. And I'm very happy to say that my vision towards developing the ideas through the students, through the young minds, have gone to some extent and then successfully to some extent, and we have been continuing with it.
So, how does the curriculum of your department ensure the best practice of the industry?
Curriculum has got so many opportunities, because AICT introduced credit points to the students to through their work to the society nearby. There is credit points that has been included in the AICT by the AICT to develop the students as a with the 360-degree approach. So with this, the curriculum is helping to develop the technology mind in the students. With the technology, they are contributing to the nearby society through several programs. It may be the health program, it may be the environment hygiene program, it may be anything that is related to the technology combined with their innovative thinking, contributing to the nearby society, developing the developing the digital content, and also the faculties of our college, our department, are helping them to understand that what is the new age technology and what are the demands of the new age technology and how they need to develop along with the racing technologies in the market. So the curriculum is helping them to develop the ideas and then the technologies, and their interventions, and then the college and the institute and then the department is helping them by supporting their ideas through the technology to the next stage and contributing it to the society through the credit point programs.
So when it comes to the fellow faculty, so how does the department enhance the skill of the faculty and prepares them according to the industry standards?
Faculties are also learners. So we believe that we are the continuous learners. When we become the continuous learners, we will be on the track to develop the new research projects, and also we will be updating our skills as well, and we will be updating ourselves in the everyday changing scenario in this fast changing technology trends. Once we update ourselves with the train the trainer programs like the FDPs, the faculty development programs, and developing the industry consultations, and also providing the consultation to the to the industry projects, and also participating in the developing grants and then the grants program, and giving the solutions to the problems that are there in the society. We are contributing along with we are going hand in hand with the student. So as we believe that our learning curve is also very important, we are updating ourselves by participating in the webinars, and we are participating in the faculty development programs. We are participating in the various industry connected research programs as well, so that we will be able to transfer the technology that whatever that we learn to our learners in a bigger way.
So, Madam, what are the interventions and approaches you bring in apart from curriculum to train or teach the students?
We go with the online platforms which are going to be very interactive, and with these interactive sessions we develop them. For example, I would like to state one example for the laboratory experiments. Earlier, we used to think that, like the providing the lab videos is going to help them a little. But during the pandemic time, we experimented through the latest softwares. Our institute has got an MOU with the NITK Surathkal, wherein the Surathkal, there we got to know that there are certain softwares where we can develop the interactive lab videos as well to make the student to understand that what could be the outcome of that lab experiment. We developed that for the different laboratory equipments. For example, basic electrical engineering lab, which is for the first year and which is for the first year students who are very tender and who are at the entry level. We developed the lab videos for them, and then that has become very evident for the student to understand what could be the lab experiment outcome and how it could be seen and in the virtual content. And virtually, when we make them to understand, it will be very evident that the student would look what exactly happens inside the equipment and how exactly the equipment behaves to the inputs that are given. So this has become, this has made the student to understand that what exactly is the objective of the experiment, what exactly is the outcome that we are going to get out of this to apply it in the real-time environment. So this way we are making them to understand both virtually through the online platform, as well as we will conduct them several experiments with the one equipment model that we have got. We will not limit the laboratory experiment to the module that or to the curriculum. We will make them to develop their own experiment by using the existing module and make them to build some of the online content for the hardware experiments what we have. So this way they will understand the basic idea of conducting the experiment and the real-time application of the experiment.
So, being the head of the department of EEE, what do you see the department's greatest strengths and how it can be enhanced?
One is the connectivity to the learners, that is to my students. Our faculties are contributing a lot. As a department, we are like a family, and we make the handhold to everyone. It may be the grants, it may be the projects that we build along with the students. We go hand in hand with the students. That's why there is a lot of transparency in learning. We learn from students, we teach the students. So that's why it is like vice versa to both of us. So we learn, we understand their challenges. We tackle at that point through the mentoring system as well. So the counseling is in place. Because of that, our relationship is even more stronger. It's like a triangle with the parents, faculty, and then the student. So we maintain this triangle very well, so that it is heart of the triangle is already shown at every corner of the triangle.
Okay. So what valuable advice would you like to the students for them to have a prosperous career ahead?
Learn all the technologies. Do not limit yourself to the electrical and electronic engineering. Learn everything in a T-shaped manner. So you build, you make the strong base and then understand all the technologies and then select the domain, whichever is of your interest. Connect the passion to technology. You will definitely don't feel the work as a job. You will love to work because as long as your interest stays there. So connect your passion to the work so that you can evolve as an entrepreneur, you can evolve as an entrepreneur, and you can make your career a successful one.
Thanks for your time and insightful thoughts on education, madam. It gave us a broad picture about what students can expect from the college and the course. Also, what is expected from the students to join Sri Sai Ram College of Engineering, EEE department. Wishing you have a great year ahead, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank our department, our faculties, our students, the great support by our college principal and the management, and the continuous inspiration that they give and the motivation that they provide to the students is making us to become successful every year. Year on year, we see the students smile on their face when they go out of the campus. This is what we would like to maintain with by crafting a good career to them. Thank you, everyone, and I would like to thank you as well for being here for your time and being with us. Thank you so much.